This is Amud Yomi, Gemara in Shabbos, Daf Dalid Amud Beis. We pick it up, Dalid Amud Aleph, for 3 lines from the wide line, and the Gemara quotes the first case in the Mishnah, which is Poshat Esa Ani. The Ani sticks out his hand into the Rishus HaYachid, and he puts an item into the Balabayis' hand. The Ani is Chayiv. He did an Akira. He picked up an item in Rishus HaRabim. He stuck his hand into Rishus HaYachid, and then he put it down. So he did a Hanacha in Rishus HaYachid. Akira, Hanacha, Chayiv. Asks the Gemara, Amai Chayiv. Why is he Chayiv? Let's remember, where did the Ani put the item down? Said the Mishnah. The Ani put the item down in the Yodoi Shel Balabayis, the hand of the Balabayis. What's the problem? You need to pick something up and put it down on an area, on a place which is 4 by 4 tfachim, because that's what gives something a shem rishus. Veleka, and he didn't, because he put it in the guy's hand. So asks the Gemara, how can that be considered a hanacha, the second half of the malacha, if it's only being put in the Balabayis' hand? My Rabbah explains, Rabbah Hamani, whom is the Tana of the Mishnah? Rabbi Akiva. Damar, Loi bin Makar Balarba. Rabbi Akiva argues. Someone who throws an item for one Rishus Yachid to another Rishus Yachid. Rishus Rabim be'emsa, Rishus Rabim in between the area. Rabbi Akiva mechayiv v'chachamim paitrim. Why? Rabbi Akiva savar, include the Kamishul Chadamya. Rabbi Akiva holds that what something is kluta. It's interesting. Klita is service in Ivrit, but kluta means it's contained. Amrinan kluta kamishor chadamia. Saying that is contained in an airspace is considered lahalacha as if it rests in that airspace. So it traveled through Rishus Harabim. That's enough to mechayev you. So explains the Gemara, according to Rabbi Akiva, there clearly is no requirement to rest on an object of Daled by Daled, on an area of 4 by 4, and therefore in the Mishnah, even if you put it to the hand of the Balabayis, you'll be chayiv. Asks the Gemara, Lemeimra, on the last line of Daled and Aleph, are you saying Dibshita Leila Rabba? The Rabba was clear that in the case of Kluta Kamishor Chadamya, was Rabba clear that whether we say Kluta Kamishor Chadamya ubetoich asara pligi, that's what Rav Akiva held. Let's let the Gemara develop itself, and it will become very clear. But Rabba had a shayla. Again, the Gemara just asked, who was the Tana of the Mishnah? The Gemara answered, said, Rabba, it's Rabbi Akiva, you don't need Daled al Daled. Why? Because Rabbi Akiva holds Kluta Kamishon Chadamya. Asks the Gemara, did Rabba really hold that? Was that so clear? On Daled Amud Beis, the second line, but we know that Rabba himself asked as a shaila. Rabba asked, what is the machlekes Rabbi Akiva and the Chachamim when you're zarek Rishus Yachid, one private domain to the next with the Rishus Harabim in the middle? Rabba asked, Lamata me'asara pligi. Are they arguing in the case where the item is less than 10 tefachim from the ground? I think I skipped a line as I turned over the page, so let me just read this again. One more time. They argue with under 10 tefachim. And what's the machlekes? To Rav Akiva, Savar Kluta Kamishor Chadamya. Rav Akiva holds that something that's contained in the airspace as if it's rested. V'Rabbanan Savri Lo Yamrin Kluta Kamishor Chadamya. Aval, however, Lemalo Me'asara, if it's above 10, then Rabba wasn't sure that maybe since Rishus Harabim only goes up until 10 tfachim, then maybe Divrei Hakol Potter, then maybe everyone is going to hold it is Potter, as above 10 tfachim, is a makim ptur. So maybe this whole rule of kluta cannot apply. Udikuli alma, and everyone agrees. Lo yalfinon, we do not learn. Zayrek mi moishet. Another sugya that we're going to have to understand. Look at Rashi on the second wide line. Rashi explains from the top of the Amid that when someone passes something, Moishet passes from one Rishos Yachid to another Rishos Yachid via Rishos Rabbim, even if it's above 10 Tvachim, we hold later on in Parak HaZeirek, you're going to be Chayiv. Why? Because we're going to learn over there. We learn out from the Agolais in the Midbar. They would pass the Krushim from one rag into the next, one Rishos Yachid to the next, Rishos Rabbim in the middle. They would not throw it. Why not? You don't want to throw the Krushim on the Mishkan. You don't want to get ruined. So everyone would hold that you do not learn Zayrek Mi Maishit. That's one way of learning the Machlekes Rabbi Kiva and the Rabbanan. Or asks Rabba, Oy Dilma, Lemala Me'asara Pligi. Or maybe, what is the case that they're arguing? Maybe they're arguing a case where it is above 10 Tfachim. Uba Pligi. And what's the Machlekes if it's above 10 Tfachim? To Rabbi Kiva, Savri Alfin on Zayrek Mi Maishit. Rabbi Kiva holds that we learn Zayrek, throwing, mimaishit, from handing over, meaning, and therefore even above 10 tfachim, you're going to be chayiv. Rabbanan Zavri loyafin and zarik mimaishit. Avolamata me'asara. But according to this way of learning, if you learn that the machlekes is specifically, do we learn handing the same as throwing, which is above 10 tfachim? Says the Gemara, but if that's the way to learn, then everyone would agree that lamata me'asara, Divrei HaKol is going to be chayiv. Why? Because my time, because then everyone's going to hold of kluta. So asks the Gemara, Rabbah, you just explained that the Tana of our Mishnah that said that the Ani puts the item in the hand of the Baal Habayis is chayiv, even though it's not in an area 4x4. You, Rabbah, explain why, because they're going with the sheet of Rabbi Akiva. Why? Because Rabbi Akiva holds kluta k'mishor chadamya. Says the Gemara, I don't understand. You, Rabbah, were unsure whether kluta k'mishor chadamya is dafka the chiddush of Rabbi Akiva, or whether that's an entity that everyone agrees to. Answers the Gemara, Lekasha, this is not a question. 3 lines from the wide lines. Basar di bayi, hadariv shatale. After Rabbah asked us the Shaila later on, he answered, Savar Rabbi Akiva kluta kemi shehoncha damya. Says the Gemara, but 1 second. V'delma anacha hu delay bayi. But maybe, what does Rabbi Akiva hold? Rabbi Akiva holds that you don't need to do a hanacha on an area 4 tfachim, but ha'akira bayi. But you need to do an akira. And therefore, what's the kasha? The kasha is that maybe Rabbi Akiva could split the hanacha from the hanacha from the akira. And ask the Gemara that Rabbah began to explain that Rabbi Akiva will be the shita that both Akira and Hanacha does not have to be from Makam Dalid al Dalid. But we really prove from Rabbi Akiva only regarding the Hanacha. Now to take this one step further, Rashi, V'delma Hanacha Loibaya, explains a beautiful lumdis. What was Rabbi Akiva? Rabbi Akiva was, you throw something versus a Yachid, versus a Yachid, versus a Rabbim in the middle. Rabbi Akiva said that when it travels through Rosh Hashanah as if it rests. 1 second. So if I throw something Rosh Hashanah, it goes to Rosh Hashanah, it says if it's resting there. Okay, and now what happened? Now we picked up, now went into the next Rosh Hashanah. So says Rashi, for the fact that Rabbi Akiva doesn't say you're chayiv 2 times, proves that it must be that he only allows kluta, the airspace, to act as a hanacha, but not as a subsequent akira. Now, what the difference is obviously is difficult. But ask the Gemara, so we can't prove that Rabbi Akiva is the shita that both akira and hanacha you don't need from a makim dalid al dalid. Elam Rabbi Yosef, says the Gemara, Hamani, who is the Mishnah? It's Rabbi. He says, Gemara, hey Rabbi, which Rabbi? Elema ha Rabbi. If you're going to tell me it's the following Rabbi, then we learn to the prices are if you sold something into an item in Rosh Hashanah and it lands on a small protrusion, Rabbi Mechai v'cham pa'ertim. So Rabbi clearly, a ziz, is clearly not dalid al dalid, and Rabbi says you're chayiv. So he's the opinion that holds you don't need an akira anacha on a dalid al dalid. Says the Gemara, no. Over there, the reason is, like Abai is going to explain. That what? Abai taught us. The case that Rebbe was talking about is which case? We have a tree in Rosh Hashanah, and the branches are hanging into Rosh Hashanah. V'zarak, and he throws something and it lands onto the branch in Rosh Hashanah. Over there is a specific reason why Rabbi said you're chayiv. Because again, where's the actual tree itself? It's 4 tfachim in Rosh Hashanah. In Rosh Hashanah, the branches are hanging into Rosh Hashanah. The Rabbi Savar Amrinan Shadai Naifai Basar Ikaroi. We view the branches after the trunk. That's why you're chayiv when it goes in the branch. But in reality, Rabbi usually holds you need a normal akira nacha dalid al dalid. That's a specific case of a branch. So who is the Tan of our Mishnah? Eloha Rabbi. It's this Rabbi. The Tan went in a rice. Zarik, which is around, which is around, which is the Yachal Bams. If you throw from one which is around into another, which is the Yachal in the middle. Rabbi Mechayev Chachamim Paitim. Why does Rabbi Chayev? I'm refuting Rishmo Rechayev Rabbi Shtayim. The precise case that we're looking for in Rabbi Kiva, Rabbi holds Achaz Misham Haitzah, V'Achaz Misham Achnasa. Alma loy boy akir v'loy nachal gavim bakam dalid al dalid, and we'll pick it up from here. B'siyata dishmaya.